Welcome everyone. I think we're waiting on maybe a few more, but we do want to keep these a little bit shorter than we've been going in the past. But we've got Cannon and Ranook up here so far. And how are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Very good, thank you. How are you? Hello, everyone.
Doing well. And yeah, there's Rob. Okay.
There's one, yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to jump into this and quickly, if you are in the room, please go ahead and retweet the link, share it out, invite all your friends, so we can get a nice crew in here. And with that being said, I want to share a brief overview, reminder for everybody here and for anybody who's listening after the fact that the Divi project was created back in 2017, and the blockchain has been up and running successfully since September of 2018. And the goal of the Divi project is to make crypto easy and accessible for everyone, everywhere. Our most notable accomplishments are the Divi wallet, which is a self-custodial mobile wallet. And we recently introduced Divi DeFi, which is still kind of getting up and running, but you can go in there and provide liquidity and do some swaps already, DiviDeFi.com. But with that being said, I think I'll turn it over to Ranook, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, we've got so much to get through today, and like Ryan said, we want to keep it to half an hour, so we don't take too much of your time, but also stay focused on the key things that we want to talk about. The previous ones, obviously, we had a lot to talk through, and that's why we kept those a bit longer. As you know, like, we've been working on loads of different things, and right now it's not the best time in the market with the current world economy and the crypto space in particular just going through a really bad time. And you've probably seen like lots of companies going down, people being let go, and a lot of companies are just focusing on survival. And we had to certainly go through that. But one thing we've always said from the get-go is that we're still going to focus on building and keep trying to deliver you all, our community, and our potential customers, products and services that's useful to help you with your crypto journey. Right, so our focus on continuing to build despite the tough times hasn't changed, and we've always stayed focused on that. So in fact, we've been working and building our future roadmap. So we talked about our previous one a few months back, and as times progress, as we go into these kind of new spaces, we start to learn more about it and start to see more opportunities. And also, having spoken to lots of different businesses, we see where we can really add value and take Divi to the next level. So we're really excited to share with you guys what we are building, where we are focusing on, the strategy around that, and how, most importantly, how that's going to impact you and your investments, and obviously, what it means to Divi as a company. Just for a bit of background context, if you look at crypto as an industry, the whole crypto sphere is it's like half the size of Apple. That's just one company. So it just goes to show, like, if you just focus on that side, we are not looking at everything else. So it's quite mind-boggling when you think about that. So that led us to believe that we want to approach and extend into other markets larger than crypto, because there's a lot of opportunities outside of that, especially with Web3 technologies and the opportunities that it brings. And Nick's been talking a lot about it. I've also kind of hinted on a few things on my Twitter as well. So we, especially Nick being in Dubai and kind of pushing ahead with that, and we've touched upon a few of those things in our previous roadmap. But like I said, now we are going into the nitty-gritty of it. As Nick has mentioned in his vision as well, we've talked about us kind of, being the Shopify of Web 3.0. So that's the same way that Shopify is the final word in e-commerce, and we want to be the same for Web 3. Is it ambitious? Absolutely. But is it achievable? Absolutely as well. So, we have to push for something, that's aspirational. That's a challenge. Otherwise, what's the point of us even getting up in the morning to try and go to work and do something, right? So And that way, that's going to bring more people into our ecosystem, because we are really pushing hard and trying to go into new spaces. And when people think of going into Web3 and blockchain, they will obviously think of us. That's where we want to get to. And then, as you know, Rob has joined the team a few weeks back, and he's particularly been kind of focused on helping align all the work we've been doing in lots of different areas, things that you guys would have seen and think you wouldn't have business. What he's been working on with myself and the rest of the team is to kind of put all of that together to try and share that with you, to say, like, where we are going, the reasons for the strategy behind it, and how all of that comes together to help you at the end of the day. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Rob to talk through, all that thinking and about the roadmap. Over to you, Rob.
Thanks. I live in Puerto Rico, and sometimes my internet goes down and out. Yesterday we had a meeting and I froze many times. So hoping that everybody can still hear me. And I hope I can be heard this whole time. So Renu, that's a super good kind of overview of our plans going forward. Really what we're looking at is expanding our cryptocurrency or Web3 sort of expertise that we're building and have built, and bringing it to new areas. And so we're kind of looking at, so we want to look at, like, what are these new areas? We kind of have 4 missions that we're pursuing as a company, maybe four paths you could think of. And underlying these 4 paths forward, we've got some really important prevailing concepts that reside over them. And really what it is sovereignty over our data, sovereignty over our money, and sovereignty over our digital assets. And so for each of these paths forward, which I'll get to in a second, just keep in mind, like, everything we're doing and the reason we're using blockchain and cryptocurrencies to power these things is to maintain that. So these are the prevailing concepts that direct us in the fields, in these paths going forward. So let's talk about these 4 different paths. So the first path is really what everybody's already pretty familiar with. So we've been calling it a cryptocurrency wallet, but now what we're thinking of expanding really the mindset to is a digital assets wallet. So there are digital assets that are not cryptocurrency based. There are digital assets that we would like to incorporate into the wallet that may not be on a blockchain, but maybe on a different type. Like, there's digital ledger technology that other companies are pursuing. We would like access to the digital assets, being assets, whether it's tokens there, or it's just access to features or points or whatever that they're using. We want to have access to those things. We want to grow into those areas. So really, it's a digital. That's why we're calling it a digital asset wallet. As I said, the cryptocurrency market stands to go forward as part of our path and products, without a question. But there's more out there, and that's really what we want to get to, more than these, and we want to capture those also. So as I said, we're going to hold more than coins and tokens and NFTs. We're going to be moving into other markets and capture those also into our wallet. And that's going to be a digital assets wallet. So I hope that was clear. That's really the idea there. Right now, all the digital assets that are in the wallet are cryptocurrency blockchain-based assets. And tomorrow, that's the case too. So we'll get into how this lays out in a little bit. But really, access to banking platforms, access to loyalty platforms, all of those kind of assets, we're shooting to end up in your wallet, so your wallet can be your central place for all of those things. The second thing is a digital identity platform. So as we interact with Web3 services, and as we act with other services that are in a bigger global market, we want our wallet to act as our identity. Now, we have this to some effect already. So, like on Ethereum, your account is really is the way you proxy your identity to get to those Ethereum services. So we want to protect your user data, your funds, your stored assets when you access anything that you transact with, not just Ethereum stuff, but anything. So we'll be implementing a package of identity services that are combined in the wallet so that your Divi wallet acts as a proxy for your identity. Again, MetaMask and Wallet Connect kind of already do this for you on Ethereum services when you use it to connect it. It's not connecting to your name, it doesn't connect to your address, it doesn't connect to your history outside your Ethereum transactions, I guess. But you get to access all those services through a proxy, much like if you expand what MetaMask is doing for you out to the rest of the world. So when you do that, if you've got this kind of wallet or application that can act as your identity to the rest of the world, then you also can control the information that passes through that proxy. And so whatever service you're connecting to, you should be able to control what data goes through that proxy to those services. And then there's the possibility of, like, depending on what it is, like, hey, maybe I can get paid for this data. And the blockchain and Web3 parts that we're going to be building is going to be enabling all of that stuff. So we have a digital asset wallet. We want to use the application as a digital identity platform on multiple platforms other than Ethereum and other than just cryptocurrency. The third path is we want to provide a set of products and services around loyalty. So we envision a loyalty program that allows users to easily give, share, and trade loyalty assets between the bazillion programs that are out there. So right now, I joined American Airlines, and I'm stuck with American Airlines for their loyalty points. Side note, I'm only mentioning a company. We've got nothing to do with American Airlines right now. So just it's an example. We're going to be introducing a new concept to old loyalty programs like collateralized NFTs, appreciating rewards, and other things, so that loyalty participants can experience new things without them actually needing to know about the crypto underneath that's powering that stuff, which is key. We want to access these other markets. We want to spread cryptocurrency power and Web3 power to these other services without somebody needing to be expert in cryptocurrency to understand what they're doing. It just needs to be empowering to them and allow them greater control over what they have and more utility. Like I should be able. It would be great if we could create networks through Web3 such that your American Airline points allow you to buy something at somewhere else, or that you can trade and sell those points, which none of which you can do now. And the way the conversations Nick's are having is that companies want to be able to get into this, but don't know how. And so we want to provide that access. The final thing, you've seen this thing called VSaaS before, and it's just vertical software as a service. But really, I'm just going to I'm not renaming it officially, but I'm just talking about, like, the idea is that this application in your wallet, we're developing in a modular way as much as we can, so that a business can take it on our wallet. It can pick and choose modules out of it that works for their business. It's still Divi, it's still our wallet, but it might be rebranded. So we're, it's part of working with companies, organizations, governments, whatever, is that they can take the wallet as it is, pick and choose what's in it, and make it theirs, not just thematically, like the feature sets that are in it. We've already done a ton of hard work in this. We've got more to do. But anyway, that's really what VSaaS means, which before I came to work for Divi, I had no idea what that was. But really what it is we do the hard work so that all of the features that we're going to discuss today and all of the paths that we're on are available to other people, still using our platform, still using our blockchain, and the set of blockchains that we will empower inside of our wallet, but for their needs. So those are the four kind of paths we're on. I'm going to repeat them for a second so it's understood. The digital asset wallet, that one's the most crystal clear, because that part is starting as a cryptocurrency wallet that we're going to be bringing up to the state of the art over this year and next. We'll go into a little bit of that in a second. And then really working towards this digital identity platform so that we can interact inside the crypto sphere, but also outside of it. And if you think about like who's doing what, really, when we were talking about Nick being in Dubai, that's his job. I came on here to take away jobs from him, so that he can focus on this part. And a lot of the feature sets and kind of, if you drill down into what these things means, a lot of that is coming from speaking actually to large companies, government officials, and so forth. And that's how we're shaping this. So that's really. I would stop and take a question here before we continue into some of the details. So because this is pretty high level stuff, it's still a little vague. But does anybody not understand what I just talked about? I'm going to keep going then. Okay. All right. So let's talk about how this filters out into something for you. So I like the tech team, myself, and other members of the staff at Divi have been working on like this roadmap. And really, right now we've got part of the digital assets wallet laid out pretty well. I'll go into some of that right now. And then we're still working on how we're getting to this ultimate vision, and we'll have a roadmap for that that will include the digital assets wallet stuff. But short term, right now we're working on kind of like, if you think about, we want to get to tokenized ticketing and a portable identity, right? We want to be able to have the things in place that do that. So a lot of that is NFTs. So we're going to be seeing NFTs this year. A lot of that is access. Either creating our own and creating on other chains, a nice way to manage your identity as either accounts on those chains or being able to make side chains for our own Divi chain to accommodate certain markets. So there's a number of ways to attack those things. So that's how you can sort of see how the NFT support might be linked to ticketing, Divi DeFi. The things that are on the internet are coming into the wallet. So for example, I managed to put down a page I didn't want to put down. Sorry about this. So for example, well, like this year alone, we're going to see the swaps move from a website into the wallet. We're going to see the DeFi farms that are coming. We'll get an announcement out a little bit more clarity about when those are coming. But those are going to be, right now in a web browser, those are coming into the wallet. The DeFi bridge coming into the wallet. So that's what I mean. Like those features are all coming into the wallet. Those features themselves empower a lot of what our path is leading towards. And when we have the roadmap actually published out, you'll see how these things are gating our progress towards what we're calling kind of like this vision wallet that does all of that follows these four paths. So those are like some concrete examples: the NFTs, the DeFi farms. We are also working on getting this year, like getting 2FA in, either Magic Link or account abstraction into there. I'm not sure. I mean, we can definitely do the Magic Link one. We're looking on forms of gasless fees to make parts of the cryptocurrency kind of transactional part either way lower cost or gasless. Keep in mind, there's no such thing as gasless. It's just who pays the gas. But enabling those features like that is all coming this year. We'll also see this year getting new coins in there. We'll see new partners and exchanges in there. We'll see another technology coming out in our next core release, major core release. Our on-chain subscriptions. We'll be having some articles on what that means, but it allows you to pay for things. Actually, it opens up a number of features, but it allows you to pay for things without actually having your wallet open. So those are like some of the major highlights that are coming. And then along with that, there's going to be UX chain updates, screen updates, flow updates. and things like that. All of those things also are happening, but really the technical improvements are what we're going to see on a published roadmap. And so those are the big highlights for this year. We actually have next year mapped out also. And so we're going to see a few things coming out for next year. So next year and the following, so 24, 25, like one-click sort of access in our Divi DeFi flows, maybe some custom themes, a Web3 browser will be coming in. So all of those things going forward will also be coming in. So I hope that this has really let you kind of see the kind of things that are coming this year into, as we bring our current wallet up to a state-of-the-art wallet, matching the feature sets of all of the major wallets that are out there. And then remembering that each of those features, and we need to figure out how those features are implemented in a way that they are useful to our larger vision of hitting other, actual markets that are outside of the cryptosphere itself, and making sure that those things are marginalized and ready to be useful and provide utility in those other markets. So I think I got all that. Oh, one more thing I'm just going to hit is this is a lot to kind of like put in 10 minutes. I probably already went over my 10 minutes. And so each step here is we're obviously going to be providing blog posts and tweets, and and many of us will be in the Discord describing this stuff and how, when things are coming down, we're going to be letting you know and how to use it and what it means for the bigger journey. Like, why did we do it now? Why did we do it in this way? And how, and how does this impact the larger picture? Okay, I think it's time to shut up. I'll happily take more listeners or more questions. Sorry.
Hey, Rob, can you hear me?
I can. I just don't see who this is.
Oh, this is Mike.
Oh, hi, Mike.
40. Yeah. So one of my questions, Brewing, specifically with Loyalty 2.0 and VSAS, I understand how this definitely will be beneficial for Divi Labs and revenue. Is there any way that, or how is Divi the coin going to be utilized in these, if we have any way?
Awesome question. And frankly, I had the exact same question before I started working here. So the answer is that it depends on the urgency. So if there's something that we want to implement, something new along these other paths that we want to implement now, we're going to figure out how to get Divi involved. But if we can't, we probably won't. So like if we need to make a smart contract on Ethereum to do it, we're going to do it with eDivi. But keep in mind, one of the technologies that's on our roadmap is both subscriptions and sidechains. And that's how our coin that has been running straight for 5 years, where the code's been cleaned up. This is why we do that work, is in order to provide functionality down the road where we can actually provide proper attention to implementing these things in a way that protects security and sovereignty in ways that smart contracts famously may not. So when I say famously, there are good ways to build smart contracts. We will build them as best we can, but fundamentally, we would like to secure the way we do things within our chain. So Divi will be powering all of this in some respect or another. And as we bring things off of other chains and into our own, the proposal is to bring it into our own side chains. That's the way we want to handle that, because that's the most secure, decentralized way we can do that. But I can't tell you specifically we're going to do this or that, because I don't know which thing we're going to be implementing which way today. I just know we're going to be pursuing these things.
Got it. So case by case, as needed. Thank you.
Anything else? Anybody? If not, we're going to move into the DiviDAO. Cannon, you wanna take this?
Yeah, hey guys. So I wanted to go over proposal number 2 for the Divi DAO. So some of you guys participated in voting for proposal number 1. Wrapped up last week with a 31-3 vote. So the initial governance model was approved. So proposal number 2, I just dropped into the Divi Discord in the DAO channel. It's a possible detail for our first implementation of NFT ticketing for voting and proposing. The government's method you approved for the DAO involves having at least one eDivi token and a special NFT for either voting or proposing. And we're going to talk about 2 methods for obtaining those NFTs. First one is simply buying them from the DAO, or secondly,
Did you forget?
I think his connection went.
I think we lost him.
Yeah.
And there's no second one. All right. I guess I'll take it until he gets back. And so I'm going to have to, I don't have his notes in front of me, but basically there's 2 ways to get these NFTs that we voted on as part of the governance method for voting and for proposing. The first, as he said, is to buy them. And the second is we are going to implement a system by which having a vault gives you a voting or a proposing NFT that you can just use. You don't have to buy them. So if you're vaulting coins, then you can then you'll just get NFTs, and those will be what you use to either vote or propose. When we migrated and from masternodes to vaults, one of the things we kind of lost was the advantages of having a higher masternode. So we thought we would use the DAO as a way to kind of regain some of that. So what the proposal really is that there's a set of 4 NFTs, set of 4 for voting, set of 4 for proposing, and then these goes in the kind of same metal kind of copper, silver, gold, platinum as the vaults do, and since the vaults are just vault sizes, and taking care of larger and larger amounts, you'll get actual voting power improvements from having the higher level NFTs. So in voting, for example, we're going to match what the masternodes did. So you get the full voting power with the copper, which is anything up to I think around $200,000 or 200,000 Divi there. And then if you get to 500,000 Divi in your vault, you'll get a 5% improvement on your voting power. Gold, another 5%, silver, and then platinum, another 5%. So that's kind of the deal there. And then on proposing, the idea is the proposal value that you can propose is limited by your NFTs. So again, a copper vault is 200,000 Divi. So you can vote up to 200,000, or make a proposal of up to 200,000 Divi, which is, it's not a small amount. And then these improve by the size in the vault. If you get to a platinum vault, you can propose any amount that you want. Again, we are not handing this down in stone. And we have not put up the proposal yet. So this time we're putting it into Discord first. We're going to talk about it until Sunday. On Sunday, we're going to try to take all the comments and concerns as best we can. Obviously, if there's conflicting stuff, we're going to try to choose or whatever. And we'll modify the proposal if it's different. And then, the snapshot will be on Sunday. We'll let it go for a week. And then the voting will be over on that Sunday. And then, during the next phases, we'll do the next proposal. So really what we're doing over the next kind of set of votes is, we had the governance vote, but now we're going to either drill down into the details about, how what these NFTs look like, how they work. Later for the purchased ones, like what are the prices? later? Like, do they burn when you use them? Certainly the vaulted ones will burn when you take down the vault. And then, we'll just get greater and greater detail until we can get to a place where we can actually implement all of this stuff in the way that we voted on. And then hopefully forward, it's a little bit more, self kind of determining and self regulating and self funding. So that's kind of the deal. I think I covered all of it. So unlike the last one, we're actually putting it into the Discord first so we can talk about it. It should be there now. I don't think I have anything more to say on the DAO stuff. Don't forget, right now for voting on this stuff, you still need one eDivi, and it needs to have. You need that over there before Sunday. Do the snapshot on Sunday. So join the DAO. Have at least one eDivi in your wallet while we work out, the basics of implementation of the governance model that we approved last time. Any questions on DAO? Okay. Moving on. Simplex. Am I doing this too? So I guess I will. Okay. Thumbs up. So there's still final testing. I believe today, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to have some screenshots of the flow. I got to admit, we're still stuck in this one little bit. I'm as frustrated as you are, but we are going to get this one little bit done and get this thing out there. We are now waiting on how a button responds. That's kind of it. So I really do mean it's imminent, but again, we're waiting on a third party to make this happen. So it really is close. But you should see some screenshots today and so forth.
Just
check
going
the
out
pinned
more.
tweet.
Sorry?
I said you can check the pinned tweet. Divi Wallet posted an update, and I think that's got some screenshots in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so we're going to we're working towards kind of like celebrating this for when this comes out for everybody. We're working kind of trying to make a little fun thing where we'll have a raffle, and we'll as you buy Divi, the amount you buy is tokens, or not tokens, I should say, points towards your raffle. You don't have to buy anything else. It's just if you buy Divi through Simplex, or when you buy Divi through Simplex, that enters you, each Divi you buy enters you into a raffle. And we'll be raffling off some NFTs or so forth. So to be clear, we're working towards implementing something like that. But we don't have that made, and we won't have it made until we really get we won't even be able to start it until we have the final version of what we're getting from Simplex in terms of information. So we're working towards that, and it should be fun. Like we'll raffle off this and that as we go. The NFTs will be of like non-zero value, but we're not giving it away. Don't expect any what's that guy's name? Banksy like NFTs or anything like that. But it should be fun. So that as you buy in Simplex, you'll be entered into this raffle, and we're trying to get there.
Yeah, and when it's ready, the team will be putting together a step-by-step guide. I mean, it's not that you need it because it's very straightforward, but we will still share a video that take you through the journey, so it's very easy and clear for everybody.
Yep. Okay. We're over by 6 minutes right now. Any questions? Come on, really? We went through a lot of stuff. No questions. All right. I guess we're going to wrap it up then.
Yeah, you were very clear.
Oh, I got one question since you're hoping for a question. I just want to know, is a referral program, is that still a thing that's going to happen eventually?
I don't have any information on that.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
Renew
been
does.
put on the back burner. Yes, I do. So we worked on it ages ago, and everything is there. Like, so Ryan and I worked on it quite a bit. So in terms of the framework, it's all there, but we had to focus on the key things that's gonna really, drive value to you guys right now, and that's what we're focusing on. So I think like Rob and the team has been sharing in the past as well. Like the main things is to make sure that this wallet is working and it's at a very good level compared to some of the other wallets out there. So has the right features, and then after that we'll move on to that. And the thing is, like a lot of these things, you have to rely on third parties as well. So we need to prioritize where we put our time and effort and investment, and then focus on that. But it is there, but not a priority right now.
Thank you so much, Renu.
Welcome.
All right. Well, I'll be in the Discord here and there. Hopefully, if you can come up with some questions, then I'm all ears and typing.
We do have one NFT solution just came up. Did you have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, my question is about the kind of the DeFi and the farming. I know things kind of fell through with that, but is there? It just seems like anybody that put a decent amount over there, you're missing out on the rewards on the layer 1 with it being on the Ethereum chain now. So I'd hate to pay the gas fees to transfer it back over, but I mean, if it's going to be another 4 to 6 months, I know it's hard to give timelines, but if it's looking like it's going to be that long, I mean, it'd almost be worth it to transfer it back and gain the rewards for 4 to 6 months. And that would probably pay for the gas fees, 4 or 5 times over. So, I know I hate to put you on the spot, but is there any sort of, timeline or kind of process that you're going through and what that's looking like for those that did participate in it? It's my first time to ever look into DeFi and trying it out. I want to support the project, and getting on another chain is awesome. But, the amount I put over there was significant for me, and losing out on those rewards is getting frustrating. And like I said, I don't want to make any rash decisions, but if you had anything like, listen, we'd like to say it'd be ready in 2 weeks, but it's looking more like 6 months, then at least we'd be able to make a decision ourselves based off of, as much info as you can give us on that.
Yeah, I should have seen that question coming. I'm sorry, I'm relatively new at this. And I promise you, we're not only sharing your exact frustration. They're scrambling on this side to make this happen. I am the first person to say let's not give timelines. It's not 6 months. We are way closer than that. But I'm super uncomfortable giving more clarity, because honestly, if Josh were here, I wish he would speak up, because that's really his ball game there, and he's hustling to make this happen against some of the internal kind of friction points, and I know imminent and soon, and I really don't like those words either anymore. I'm super confident you're better off just keeping it there right now. If I'm wrong on that, feel free to abuse me in the channels, but I'm very confident you're going to see this in a time where it's better for you to just keep it there now.
Okay. And I guess my next question is going to be kind of over the DAO. If we're receiving these NFTs, but technically the Divi wallet doesn't support NFTs yet, is this going to be in MetaMask that we're going to see these pop up? I mean, as long as the approval, obviously, or the proposal is approved. But as far as, how you would see them, and then is there going to be, what's the marketplace going to look like as far as buying and selling them, trading them? Is it going to be market specific, where it's going to be a free market, someone can put an NFT up there for whatever price they want, or is this going to be governed by the DAO? I guess I might be getting ahead of myself, but just kind of looking forward to the future. Most of us probably don't have much info on a DAO, and I don't know the team's kind of outlook on what they hope it's going to be. I don't know if you can shed any clarity on your kind of the team's hopes and desires and what they'd like to see this kind of blossom into. But just getting started, I mean, there's so many questions because the structure and moving forward is still so unknown that we're going to be voting on things, but we don't even know what those unknowns are yet. So I know that's a lot to unpack, but I guess moving forward, where are we going to look for these, and what are going to be the best ways to purchase them? Is it only going to be with eDivi right now, and is it going to be an open marketplace, or more just through Divi Labs, I guess, for right now?
So those are all also really good questions. So the first thing I would recommend is, Ryan, maybe you could put up the link to the blog post. So there was a blog post about the Divi DAO and the expectations of where that's going to be going. I'm going to tersely paraphrase it. So we are working on, right now we're working on the implementation of the DAO. Everyone's got the same kind of questions you do in terms of like, how is this going to happen? How's that going to happen? And the way we're going to answer those questions is by putting in proposals right now. It gets more and more detail. So for example, we're putting in this proposal right now so we can into the Discord so that we can discuss the pros and cons of doing the NFTs this way. And if somebody has a better idea, then hopefully, when we put this up for vote, it will get rejected. We'll try the other way and see how that goes until we get it right. But hopefully people like this way. I do. But in terms of finer and finer resolution and answering the questions that you have, I think it's the DAO who should be able to answer those questions. So, and the way they're going to answer it is this process that I just spoke of. We're going to put things in. We're going to have to put things in to get, like, if right now Divi Labs is going to be, or Foundation is going to be doing the implementation, right? So that we can create the tools to make this happen. But we don't know what you guys want. So every single one of those questions you have is going to be a little bit of the detail of voting in terms of this is one. And then another one will be maybe purchase NFTs burn. And another one is, can we just put them on OpenSea? Who's going to mint them? Is there a limited amount? I don't know the answer to all of those. Let's talk about them. So let's propose something, talk about that proposal, and get the resolution that you're looking for. So the oracles of information are blog posts regarding the DAO. I think we put out one so far. There will be more. And then, of course, the DAO channel that's in Discord is where everything is going to be discussed. Tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like I answered you.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Like you said, it's going to have to be the DAO, and that's kind of what I was hoping for. And I guess until implementation of a NFT and how it's going to be purchased, a proposal is made, you don't typically need an NFT to make the proposal because it hasn't been voted approved yet.
Yeah,
so,
and I'm sorry, I didn't answer part. So how do you see your NFTs, right? So if we had this out tomorrow, how would you see it? And so I think one of the blog posts we're going to be putting out, it answers that exact question. Also, we can lead you to it, but think of it this way: your Divi wallet connects your Divi blockchain assets and also your Ethereum blockchain assets. Right in that wallet, you see both. You have the keys to both of those. So when we do things in the DAO and so forth, we're going to send the NFTs to the address. To the address you joined the DAO with. So you'll see those however you see NFT. You can see them through MetaMask, you can see them whatever address you joined the DAO with. In the future, there is an Ethereum address in your wallet, and we're going to try and have all the DAO stuff connected to that Ethereum address. Some people use that, some people didn't. Doesn't really matter. But it also goes back to the raffle. The raffle's NFTs. Based on your Divi purchase, those NFTs are going to be sent to your Ethereum address connected to your wallet. So in the future, it'll be more like that. Right now, we're going to just send the NFTs to the address that you joined the DAO with, and we need to figure out how to link those two up.
Okay.
And then you can see them one way. Eventually, we'll have a way that you can do more than see them, like own them and move them and so forth.
Okay. That's what I figured. I just, like I said, I don't know how soon NFTs go live in the Divi wallet, and so I imagined it would be through either Magic Link or MetaMask or something like that. But I wanted to be clear, and I am part of the DAO channel.
Cool.
So I will go on there and read that. I kind of looked over it as you were talking about it and looking at the figures, but it's hard to listen and read at the same time. So
Totally.
Okay, well, I got some more questions, but I don't know if anyone else want to jump up here. I don't want to take this over or anything.
I don't see any hands.
Okay.
We do want to wrap it up because we said 30 minutes and we're past that. So let's take one more. And you know what? Just contact me in the main channel. I'll answer more questions.
Okay. Well, I guess with the loyalty 2.0 going live, I want to just kind of make some examples and see if I'm thinking in the right way. Does that mean, like, if you're like my wife, she loves Starbucks, and so she goes on like double star days and she gets new drinks and stuff and she gets extra stars. I know people that go to certain gas stations to get points for when they fill up, things like that. Is that basically what you're talking about? Like you could earn those points and even pay through the Divi wallet when subscriptions go live? Like if Starbucks came out with some sort of subscription service where you paid X amount a month, or like a car wash. So many car washes now are going to where you pay, $20-$30 a month, but you get unlimited washes and, vacuums as many times as you want. So is this something, is that basically what the 2.0 is moving towards and what you're looking at, or is it something different that you guys are kind of looking at and projecting with that program?
So, do you want to handle that, or do you want me to fly?
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of these things, they're still literally just starting out, right? So when we put our last roadmap out, people didn't even know what any of these things meant. And so a lot of this will actually be dictated by a lot of these businesses we are talking to. So to give you an example, some of the ones that we've been talking in the past is more about earning points based on, use of their services. So let's say, taking your example of Starbucks here, or going to the car wash. So the idea is that, when you're, and like Rob was saying earlier, if you're with American Airlines, you can only use your points there. So what we want to do is like work with them to actually go take it a step further from that. So like you can then use it in other places, like your Starbucks example. Or the other way, I think Mike asked a question about this earlier, like, how do you factor in Divi to this equation? Obviously we can then say with your points, you can get Divi, you can stake with it, so you can earn with your points. There's so much we can do with it. But it'll also come down to the businesses we're going to be working with, because at the end of the day, they're the ones with the loyalty program, and they're the ones with the customers with specific needs. So we'll have to work with that. But absolutely, there is no reason why we can't go to some of the examples you mentioned. Anything you want to add, Rob?
Okay,
No,
it sounds like kind of like sky's the limit, and it's just basically what you guys and the companies you're working with can think up. So, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. So, like, I think we talked about NFT ticketing as well. Like, all of these things will join up, and yeah, the sky's the limit. Just need the funding and the right businesses for it.
Gotcha. Well, I think putting everything together, I don't speak for anyone but me, but I think the reason the team had to go in the direction that you're going is because of that's the way the market is going to shift, and hopefully you guys are kind of seeing it. And although it hasn't reflected in the price, and that's what most people care about, I think that when everything finally comes together, it's going to be well worth it, and we're going to be a couple steps ahead, not just one or two, but a couple steps ahead of everyone else. So just thank you for what the team's doing. I know it's been a struggle. The bear market sucks, but you guys have continued to build, and I can kind of see the hopefully where we're going. Like I said, I don't want to get too outrageous on my ideas and thinking, but I think it's when it comes together, it's going to be pretty massive. So thank you.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you as well. Yeah.
All right. Wrap it up.
Yep. I think we're all good. And yeah, thank you everyone for all your support, and and also keep pushing us, keep asking questions, and so we'll stay on our toes as well.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to mention, that thank you all for coming. Something that Ryan, the person who's speaking, I've got a virtual conference or virtual summit that's coming up on Friday. It's free, and I would encourage you guys to check it out. Divi tweeted about it. It's the Decentralized World Summit, and that's all I'll say about that. I'll let everybody get back to their Friday, but again, it was a great session. Maybe a little bit over a bit.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of the day.